Listen very carefully to what I'm about to tell you. Video games are dying. Don't believe me? Okay, try finding a classic copy of Resident Evil 4, and you'll see how hard it is. In fact, a recent study suggests 87% of retro games are gone and completely unplayable without a bit of luck and maybe a bit of garage sale determination. Don't worry, there's a way to save them. As the gaming industry matured, we found that lately they've almost enthusiastically been re-releasing classic games to modern platforms. Games like Final Fantasy VII. Not only can you play the faithful port on nearly every platform imaginable, but you can play a full-blown AAA remake. But is there a right way to play these classic games? Is there a right way to relive these games from the past? Is there an answer to a faithful port or a modern remake? Let's find out. The memories, the pixelated graphics, the chiptune music, and the oftentimes clunky controls and perspective. When it comes to ports, it's all about preserving the original experience. Ports capture the essence of the past, offering a sense of authenticity that allows you to experience the game exactly as gamers did when it first came out. But that doesn't mean that you have to relive the pain and bugs of a lot of those early games. Ports often come with a treasure trove of technical improvements, making it not just about reliving the past, but also seamlessly integrating it into the present. Look at Alan Wake Remastered, available on the PlayStation Plus this month. Not only is it bundled with the expansion so that new players don't have to go looking for each episode integral to the story, but it's also improved with stunning 4K visuals to go with that fancy modern console. But that's just one example. There's a spectrum of effort and enhancement for ports ranging from straightforward conversions to meticulously crafted masters.
Oh, man. Wow.
For instance, take the classic Sonic the Hedgehog from the Sega library. In the early 90s, a blue blur named Sonic raced into our lives, becoming an iconic character. Over the years, Sonic Adventures has transcended generations through mobile, PC, and even consoles. You can even play classic Sonic games on Nintendo Switch. And considering the rivalry that Sega had with the Nintendo back during those times, it's like playing Halo on a PlayStation.
Wow! What's this one? Oh, this is a Sonic the Hedgehog from Sega Genesis. Hey, look at these radical colors, huh? Wow, Sonic's fast.
And while each Sonic port might not receive the same level of graphical overhaul as the full-blown remake, the gameplay and core experience remain intact. And accessibility is where those ports truly shine. This low-effort port approach allows older and newer generations to experience gaming history across new platforms. Playing a faithful port of these masterpieces directly links to that iconic gaming era. And arguably one of the most iconic games is Final Fantasy VII. There's a reason why people are still talking about this game to this day. It taught a generation that a video game can be more than just a game, but also a powerful medium for storytelling. It blew minds, melted hearts, and nothing can truly capture that original experience. But having the ability to revisit the world of Midgar is almost a time capsule of a monumental moment in 1997 and its groundbreaking 3D world. And, well, at this time, it was an incredible 3D world. Ports aren't without their weaknesses though. When Final Fantasy VII was initially released, alongside its myriad of praises were its cutting-edge and awe-inspiring graphics. But after 20 or so years, let's just say it hasn't aged as gracefully as fine wine. The characters resemble angular origami creations more than the compelling heroes and villains we know them as today. The world of the original Final Fantasy VII was expansive and breathtaking, yet constrained by the technology of its time. The backgrounds often felt like highly detailed painted dioramas with pre-rendered graphics that provided a sense of scale, but lacked the immersive depths modern gamers expect. The blocky characters moved with a certain charm, but left much to the imagination. As the years went by, the glitch gremlins started to appear. Quirky oddities and technical hiccups that sometimes unintentionally brought humor to scenes that should have been dramatic. Aeris's death just doesn't hit as hard as it once did in the original, mainly due to technology. To some, it just doesn't feel as magical anymore. And what about the new gamers who haven't even played Final Fantasy VII? Which brings up the question, is remaking the game from the ground up the way to go? Remakes can be incredibly enticing. These games can be completely redone from scratch, sometimes even using different computer code to create them. With advancements in technology, developers can breathe new life into classics. And if there were even a case on why it's better to just go with a remake, let's look at the remarkable transformation of Final Fantasy VII, a breathtaking testament to the potential of remaking a classic. The graphical leap is nothing short of extraordinary. Cloud Strife and his companions have shed their polygon appearances for detailed character models that capture every emotion, every nuance of expression. Once a collection of static backdrops, Midgar is now a bustling, living, and breathing cityscape that envelops players into its environment. But the remake doesn't just stop at a visual makeover. It dives deeper, reimagining gameplay mechanics to match contemporary standards while preserving the heart and soul of the original. Combat, once turn-based and menu-driven, has evolved into a thrilling real-time experience that blends strategic decision-making with action-packed battles.
Let's make it hot! Bring it! You can do it!
Voice acting breathes life into beloved characters, and the expanded narrative offers a richer understanding of their motivations and relationships.
Like, really?
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Don't worry about it.
And the expanded narrative offers a richer understanding of their motivations and relationships.
Sephiroth.
CD-ROMs really limited developers back in the day, and now they can develop everything they want to tell, as long as players have enough room on their hard drives. In many ways, the Final Fantasy VII Remake is a masterclass in remaking a game while honoring its legacy. It embraces the source material's essence while pushing the boundaries of technology to deliver a captivating experience for both longtime fans and newcomers. It acknowledges the nostalgia that players hold for the original while introducing them and newcomers to reimagine a world that exceeds their wildest expectations. The remake of Final Fantasy VII isn't just a game, it's a celebration of the timeless impact that video games could have on our lives. This transformation is a solid testament to the power and transformation of remaking a game and the importance of striking the right balance between honoring the past and embracing the future. And just like ports having a range of development efforts, you also have those remakes with different calibers like Pokemon Heart and Gold and Soul and Silver. They keep the core gameplay and narrative intact while embracing graphics, audio, and sometimes even introducing new features like the Pokewalker, which allows players to transfer Pokemon from the game into the device and walk around with them to earn in-game rewards. These remakes acknowledge and enhance the original strengths without straying too far from the familiar path. So with Final Fantasy VII the start of a new trend, some remaking renaissance, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone that would argue the remake isn't great. But it seems like remaking the originals is pretty much what everyone's doing these days. I mean, just take a look at the Disney movies. Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid, Mulan, the list goes on. Is this current passion of remaking classic games sparked by the legitimate attempt to retell stories, or are we just learning from Hollywood to cash in on the big moneymakers from the past? But it's hard not to take the bait. The trailer for the upcoming Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, a remake of the classic 2004 title, looks incredible.
Tasty.
Not only does running through the beautiful foliage look better than ever, but through the power of the next generation consoles and revamped gameplay mechanics, this remake offers a fresh take on a familiar world. Yet, without the original creator Hideo Kojima on the wheel, is it just a cash grab? And for remakes in general, do these changes to graphics and gameplay alter the mood and tension that made the original so memorable? And does the remake risk losing the original charm?
12 shots.
But this is a battle, and we need the answer to the question of ports or remakes once and for all. It's time to pit these two against each other, so let's summarize. Ports focus on authenticity and reliving the past in its purest form. These are iconic titles that have shaped gaming history. As a video game editor, I'll never forget what the original meant to me, and the fact that I can load it up on a PC or mobile and share those joys and frustrations of the original experience with newcomers is priceless. But I'll be damned if I didn't love the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
You really hear that?
Putting a voice to those classic characters and updated graphics and the expanded narrative allowed me and millions of gamers to see this old favorite with fresh eyes.
Just look at it all. It's so green. Even after everything we've done to it, it's still going strong.
It proves that technology can be harnessed to capture the spirit of the past while introducing us to breathtaking new worlds, delivering an experience that resonates across generations. The original Final Fantasy VII will always be the game that comes to mind when anyone mentions the title, and in many ways, to truly appreciate the remake, I think you need to have played the classic version.
Damn straight I do!
It's like Star Wars and newer prequels and sequels. Unless you know the history and context that went into making the original, you might never appreciate the effort that goes into making these remakes.
Is that a smile I spy?
But the truth is, I can't give you an answer. It's a matter of personal preference. Some gamers yearn for the unadulterated nostalgia, while others cave into the excitement of a modernized version. But in the end, it's all about striking that right balance between preserving the past and embracing the future. Ultimately, whether you choose a faithful port or a dazzling remake, what truly matters is the experience you gain. It's about reliving those cherished moments and connecting with a piece of gaming history.
Find something you enjoy and stick with it.
So, the next time you're faced with a choice, remember there's no right way, there's only your way. Thanks for watching.